మీట్ ది లీడర్లో మనతో పాటు యంగ్ డైరెక్టర్ ఫ్రమ్ రాధా టీఎంటీ అక్షత్ సరాఫ్ ఉన్నారు. సో రాధా టీఎంటీ ఎట్లాంటి కైండ్ ఆఫ్ స్టీల్ తయారు చేస్తుంది, సో ఎంత మార్కెట్ షేర్ ఉంది, సో రైనో పేరుతో రీసెంట్గా ఒక లేటెస్ట్ టెక్నాలజీ ఓరియంటెడ్ స్టీల్ మార్కెట్లోకి ఇంట్రొడ్యూస్ చేశారు. సో అది ఎట్లా ఉంది, సో మిగతా స్టీల్తో కంపేర్ చేస్తే ఎంతవరకు డ్యూరబిలిటీ కానీ లేకుంటే వాటి స్ట్రెంగ్త్ కానీ ఎట్లా ఉండబోతోంది అనేది తెలుసుకునేటువంటి ప్రయత్నం చేద్దాం. Hi sir, welcome
Hello.
to Sakshi TV.
Thank you so much. Pleasure to be here.
First of all, congratulations for Sakshi TV.
Thank you so much.
So when you started your career into this Radha TMT?
So I started my career in 2016 when I joined our company after coming back from my undergraduate degree. I studied at Indiana University. I did my business degree over there in finance and management. And as soon as I came back, I jumped right in because this is what I wanted to do all my life. And it's been a lovely journey of over almost 7 years now. And I started my career at the factory level, at the ground level, learning everything. And slowly moved into marketing, sales and branding so that we can keep up with our expanding capacities and keep serving quality products to our state and to our nation.
So entering into this market, it's a big competition in the total complete area. This area is quite different. So you came from USA and you had to be start with steel production and kind of things. What kind of hurdles do you face?
So definitely when you come from the US and when any young leader that might be watching this, when you come from an education, whether it be in the US or in India, and you actually see the work life, you understand a lot of things. And initially it's very different from what you perceived. And if you ask a child, if you ask any kid, he will say, I want to grow up, I want to grow up. If you ask any adult, he will say, when we were kids only, that was nice. So that's something that I feel like every young leader will face at some point or the other. Steel particularly is a very difficult and challenging industry to be in. We operate on very small margins as well as we have high volumes. So there's a lot of focus and a lot of laser-like focus that is required in order to run an enterprise and an organization in the steel field.
Before Saraf and after Saraf, so what is the difference in TMT, Radha TMT?
So I think definitely the major difference is our quality focus. While others are trying to just maximize their profits, we are very committed to our customer, and that is why I was mentioning also that we try to understand the customer, their application, and design specialized grades of steel that meet all their needs. For example, in 2017 we launched Radha 550, which made the market move from Fe 500 to Fe 550, a better grade of steel which was used in construction. In 2020 December, we launched 550D LRF. Now LRF is a technology that is only owned by us in South India and used to be used by the likes of Tata and Jindal Steel in the past. Now why we got this steel is we understand that the infra market in South India is very large and we wanted to create a special product for them. That's why we created 550D LRF, which is a steel which has higher strength as well as higher ductility and bendability to make the complex structures required for infra projects. And as our tagline rightly puts it, we are South India's first infrastructure steel. And now, less than a month ago, actually on the 1st of October, so proud to have launched Radha Rhino 600 Plus, which is for all the viewers watching this program. It is a specialized grade of steel mainly for house builders. Now house builders know, everybody knows that house builders in India is becoming more quality conscious. India is growing and its customers are growing and they are becoming more quality conscious. So an average home, the steel cost that you spend on an average house is around 270 to 280 rupees for steel. The customer now is willing to pay, and I have done market research myself. The customer is willing to pay for a higher quality product, even if it costs a little bit more. They are ready to pay a premium for it because they know you can change the paint on your walls, you can change the furniture in your room, but steel is permanent. Once it goes inside your building, you will be stuck with it, your children will be stuck with it, maybe even their grandkids will be stuck with it.
So that's why we have to take care of while constructing.
Yes, absolutely. So I'd say steel and concrete are the most important things that go into any building.
As a layman, I'm asking
Yeah.
a question related to. So, suppose if I want to, buy a steel for individual house, for a real estate people, they want to construct a huge apartments. Is there any different kind of steel? Steel is there for house purpose and
Yeah.
construction purpose. You mentioned that we have the infrastructure kind of steel. So, what
Yeah.
is the difference between household steel and infrastructure kind of steel?
Yeah, as I was mentioning, for infrastructure projects, when you see a dam or a bridge being built, you see how much design is there and how much ductility, flexibility, and kind of durability that's required for that structure. The main important points in that is load bearing capacity, because if it's a bridge, thousands of cars will pass over it every day. But when you see a house, you want a product that doesn't rust. You want a product that is strong and is able to withstand the test of time. And you want a product that makes you feel safe in your house. So that is what we have done. It's more earthquake and fire resistant. It requires 10% less steel. So basically, even though you're paying a premium for my product, ultimately, since it's such a strong steel, you can use less and get away with it. So that is what we have kept in mind. We have kept all three verticals: infrastructure projects, construction companies, and the house builder in mind while designing these products.
So in the market, how many types of steel is available? Especially in India or.
So there are lots. Different purposes have different types of steel that go into it. TMT also is in fact one, the rebars, the saria that we talk about. That is also only one out of the thousands of varieties of steel that are there.
Okay.
Now, if you go into the depth, even nuts and bolts come into steel manufacturing. Yeah. So there's a variety of products, and I'm proud to be a part of the Indian steel fraternity, because I don't know if many people know this, but we have overtaken USA and Japan, and we have become the second largest producer of steel all over the world. So it's a matter of pride for all of us.
So in generally, suppose if anyone want to construct a house, so what kind of steel do you we have to be prefer? So what kind of advice you want to give?
So I would definitely say that when you're buying steel for your house, we have designed a special product for it.
What kind of characteristics
Yeah.
we have to be
Yeah.
for steel?
Yeah. So in terms of characteristics, I think you should look at the steel company and their credentials more than what they are saying on paper. So for us, I always tell them that we have a legacy of 60 years. So we have been in the market for so long, so it gives 1 point for trust. We have won several awards, national, local, that gives 1 point of trust. But the main thing is our production process has 25 quality checks, as well as we have a fully integrated plant. So directly from iron ore, we make our end product. So that shows you. Now you might be wondering, why is that important? Why is fully integrated important? Tell me one thing. You go to a restaurant or dhaba and eat, or you eat at home when your mother cooks for you. Both go to the same vegetable shop and buy vegetables.
Yes.
But when you come home and your mother makes it herself, she's taking care that all the quality is the best. She's taking care that my son will be eating, so I have to make sure it is the best.
So more affection towards.
So more affection and more quality control. Same thing when they go to the dhaba, the dirty knife they will be cutting, they'll fry in the same reused oil, and they'll give you the food.
A simple example.
Yeah, so that's a very simple way of thinking about it. When you cook at home, you have all the quality control in your own hand. The same way, when we make our steel totally integrated way, we have the entire quality process in our hand.
So come to your plant. So where is your located and what kind of production capacity do you have?
Yeah. So we have plants in Bellary. We have 2 sponge iron plants in Bellary, and we have a major manufacturing setup in the district of Medak, Chinna Shankarampet, Chegunta village. And our goal is to be 1 million tons per annum by the year 2025, by the end of the year 2025. It's a very ambitious goal for us, but we are working hard. We are trying to, make the most of our available resources and trying to create that value.
After Corona, that lots of scenarios and situations, entire market is changed. So have you came out from that point of view, and Russian, we call it as a Russian kind of thing. So,
Yeah.
so it's a pandemic. So how you face it? I mean, how you come out of the pandemic situation?
So I think the most important thing is the entire world was affected by Corona. But the important thing is that we all work together. Humanity took a bigger step than business, than the economy, and we all came out of it, and we all came out of it healthy. For the steel sector, COVID showed us how important it is to take a step back also. But after the COVID pandemic was over, the government started infusing a lot of money, housing for all, infrastructure growth. So a lot of boom was felt by the steel industry then. So for the first year after the pandemic was over, it's noted all over the markets, Tata Steel was showing record profits and all of that. So it was a good situation for us. Again, like I mentioned, we are just focusing on delivering the best quality. So our principles like that haven't changed. COVID gave us some time to think and come up with even more innovative ideas. And that's when we launched LRF, like I said, right after the COVID pandemic. Then also Rhino now. So for us, it's been a journey, and we are happy to have come out of it in a good way.
So you are competing with the big companies like Tata Steel, Jindal, even Vizag Steel. You
Yeah.
are the private player. You are
Yeah.
competing with that big companies.
Yeah.
Navaratnas, we can catch up it.
Yes.
So what kind of preparations and what kind of plans do you have? And marketing strategy is also important. So
Yeah.
lots of small players are there in
Yeah.
both entire India. So
Yeah.
how you are competing? What kind of strategic plans do you have?
So the main thing is, no matter what kind of branding you do, no matter what kind of advertising you do, unless your product is the best product or the highest quality product, you cannot compete with these big players, right? And Henry Ford once said that if you give a quality product, any product will sell. But if you give an inferior product, even 20% you won't be able to sell, right? And that's what we focus on. More than branding, advertising, all of that is just because we have to maintain a presence, and people, when they have heard of us before, they trust us more. But our core, again, I will say, is just quality and delivering the best quality product. And like I said, we have 25 plus checks. We ourselves, as directors and promoters of the company, are very hands-on. I took inspiration from the CEO of Zomato. So every 2 or 3 months, he goes and does one delivery by himself.
Yes.
Right, and I saw that, and I was very inspired by it, because he himself is a young leader.
Yes.
Right, and due to that, I started going into the market personally. I started interacting with the customers, and I tried to at least go once a month and sell for my dealer or distributor to a third party. I try to convert the order just so that I understand what the end customer is also thinking. So when compared to the giants like Tata Steel and Jindals, I think this is our advantage, where we are all very hands-on involved, and all of us have that, zeal to grow and to kind of make it to the next level.
What kind of best things do you tell the people who are going to be entering into this field? Or what is your success mantra? That's a directly question.
My success mantra, I think, is the importance of hard work is very underestimated. Whenever you want to achieve something, you have to focus and you have to do it consistently. Now, if you take an example of why consistency and hard work is important, you think of life as a marathon, and your career and your professional journey as a marathon. It's not a 100-meter dash. Because at the end of a 100-meter dash, you're exhausted within 15 to 20 seconds, you're panting and you're not able to do anything. Whereas in a marathon, you have to run for 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours. Now what happens, most people think, I'm going to do all the work today, I'm going to spend 16 hours a day, in this week only I'll finish everything. That's not how it works. You have to put in consistent effort, 7, 8 hours, 9 hours a day, for months and months and even years. That's when you achieve success. So similarly, like people who go to the gym, first day they will lift all the dumbbells, next day their body will be paining up, and they won't go only after that. So it's important to go half an hour every day rather than doing 2 hours once a week.
So the same kind of situation will be there in the plant, I mean,
Yes.
doing the work.
Yes. So in the plant also, like, it's like I said, steel is a very volume intensive game and so many things are moving around at the same time. So it's very important to keep your focus and keep your dedication. So my success mantra is consistency. Keep doing what you're doing. That's all.
So what is the best part and best memorable day in your company for you, especially for you?
My most memorable day, I'd say, was again on October 1st when I launched Radha Rhino, because these kind of products, these kind of revolutionary products come in the market every once in a while. Okay, it's very rare that these kind of things come up. And I'm so happy that with my team at Radha, I was able to build and work on many such projects and, bring out a kind of steel that will be used and has already been started, widely been accepted by all the homeowners and home builders. So that was one very proud day for me. And besides that, I still remember the first time I went to the factory was with my grandfather when I was just a young boy. And he gave me a piece of advice that I'll never forget. He told me that, I'll just say it in Hindi, स्टील फैक्ट्री में पैसा बिखरा हुआ है, अब तुम्हारे ऊपर है कि झुक के उठाना है कि सर ऊपर करके चलना है बस. Means there's money lying around in the steel factory everywhere. There's a lot of money to be made. But do you want to bend down and pick it up?
Yes.
Or do you just want to be in your own world and keep walking with your head up? So it's a lesson on how to be grounded, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what is the hardest part?
The hardest part is definitely...
It's not in pandemic situation.
No, not even the pandemic. I think...
the construction activities went on.
Yeah. So at that time, unfortunately, the construction and everything had stopped. But what I realized was at that time, no one was really that concerned about their business. They're concerned about their safety in general. But the most difficult part, I'd say again, is maintaining that level of enthusiasm and that level of, focus and dedication. So the most important thing to do is usually the most difficult also. So like I said, consistency is the most important way to succeed, but it is also the most difficult to maintain. Because being an entrepreneur, being a businessman, you have a lot of social obligations, you have to go to a lot of parties, but you can't ignore your work. Then next day when you come back, it'll be like this, 10 files sitting on your desk that you have to take care of. So just being consistent, just being dedicated is also not as easy as it sounds. So keeping your motivation up. So I watch a lot of inspirational videos and motivational videos, and I keep reading a lot. So that helps me cope with this.
So how many employees right now working in your organization, and what could be the next expansion plan or...
So like I said, I mean, in terms of employees, like I can't tell you how many are there right now because we are a growing family. But in terms of, forget the quantity, but the quality of my employees is what I am most proud of. We have MBAs from IIMs, we have hardworking people that have been with us for 15, 16, 17 years, some even since the last 30, 35 years. So as an employer, I'm very happy to have such a team, and I'm blessed that they show their faith in me and they work so hard for the company. So yeah. You
would prefer degrees or knowledgeable person?
So it's a combination of both. I mean, degree doesn't automatically mean knowledge, but degree just helps me qualify that if a person has an MBA, he's put in that effort to learn and to explore different ways of thinking. That most people in my organization might not be traditionally, having very high degrees, but are very, very smart and have that kind of robust work experience. But when I'm hiring freshers or people with less experience, a degree helps me qualify their mindset.
Okay.
Because if they've spent 2 years getting an MBA or 1 year getting an MBA, or have kind of, engineering, metallurgical engineering background with an MBA, I know that they can understand technically as well as commercially.
Okay, why I asked this question?
Yeah.
You studied there in US,
Yeah.
so you came on to...
Yeah, no, I mean, I really, I think an investment in education pays the best interest. So Benjamin Franklin said this, one of the founding fathers of America. He said that an investment in education pays the best interest.
Okay, so you follow that.
So I'm a big fan of that. In fact, I'm doing an executive program from Indian School of Business in Hyderabad right now.
Okay,
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm doing my executive MBA from there because learning is not just, it shouldn't stop at a degree. Learning is a lifelong process, and I feel like the more you learn, the more you earn. It's very simple.
True.
Yeah. Because what is you look at any business, right? You look at share market. What is it? It's you're getting information, you're learning about companies, and you're making guesses about how it will be. You look at the steel business.
You have a grip on that?
Once you have a grip on learning, and everyone should be a lifelong student. Yeah, they should keep trying to educate. Nowadays, it's so easy. You have these platforms like Coursera and all these online platforms, and YouTube is a great learning platform too. So people should keep learning. Why limit yourself? Do you want to? If you are happy with the place you are at, if you're satisfied with it, then you don't learn. Then it's upon you. But I suggest even forget me. I'm so young person. Even my parents, they keep going for learning retreats. They keep going for learning events. Conferences are learning. When you see people's speeches, that is also learning. So it's just something that I recommend that everyone does.
Now Radha TMT is in third generation.
Yes.
So you are the younger one.
I'm the youngest, yeah.
Youngest one. So you achieve lots of things. What is your next goal?
My next goal, like I said,
not change for every month.
No, it won't. So my core goal, if you say, the need I want to satisfy in the market is the need of a quality product at a fair price. And my long-term vision, my long-term goal is definitely to build upon what my parents have done, what my grandfather has left for me, and I want to. One day I aspire to be a national level steel player, and one day I want to be a brand that everyone recognizes in the country.
Okay, so now prices, you compare with the prices.
Yeah.
Steel prices are increasing or rapidly or compared with any other like cement or whatever.
Yeah.
So is there any problem with the raw material cost? What kind of situation making the iron ore steel prices?
Yeah. So, I mean, it's not just one factor. When you look at steel prices, they are dictated by a lot of things. It's to do with the raw material prices, it's to do with the electricity prices, it's to do with export duties. In fact, right now, if you compare to the highest point of steel prices in the year 2022, we are around 25% less than the peak. And that peak happened in the first week of March during that Russia-Ukraine conflict and everything. So China has shut down a lot of their steel plants due to environmental policies. That is one reason. So that dumping wasn't happening globally. And India was a free market in terms of steel exports, right? That coupled with Ukraine war, because Ukraine is also a major manufacturer in the Europe.
Yes.
So that escalated the prices a lot. See, in a free market economy, there's demand and there's supply. There's huge demands and the global supply was being cut. China and Ukraine both are not producing anything. There's, people are... Yeah, so that was one impact. But if you look at it, the steel prices have fallen also subsequently. So now in the last week of, I think, April, I believe, export duties were levied on steel companies of 15%. So that proves very challenging. In fact, we are the only company from Telangana that exported steel before that. We spent months and, deployed a lot of resources to get approved in foreign countries and then tweaked our manufacturing process to meet the export norms. And then suddenly that export duty came into play. So that's why, the prices have fallen also. So it's all demand and supply at a very fundamental level. The reasons why demand is up, the reasons why supply is down can be a mix and match. But the steel prices are not going up or down because of any greediness of the steel manufacturers, because there's so many of them. If one person is being greedy, the other person will let go of their stock.
When we observe that they are cartel and they increase the price like that, so steel is also
Nothing
some
like
sort
that.
of
Steel,
carteling is there.
unfortunately, I mean, we don't have any
Competition
cartel
is
in
not
steel.
cartel.
Yeah. So we are so busy growing ourselves, and we are so busy, I mean, capturing the market, that cartelization will not work, because all steel companies are trying to grow now, right? And there's a law in business where you can either grow or you can think about your profits, right? Because when you have to grow, you have to spend money. When you want maximum profit, you have to save money, you have to cut costs. So both can't coexist simultaneously, and at least in the states of Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, and the South Indian states, there's no such steel mafia. So
Of course.
yeah.
So when can we expect Radha TMT export plans or something?
I think the export plans will only come back once the export duty is reworked, because 15% is too much. In commodity markets, 1%, 2% is the kind of margin.
Of margins.
Yeah. So when you have such razor thin margins, you can't expect someone abroad will buy your steel for 15% more. Yeah, so it's totally unworkable at this moment. But I'm sure the finance ministry will also rework it, or make some amendments to it, so that there's a win-win situation for both the local consumers as well as the global markets.
So last question for my point of view.
Yeah.
So how you balance family life and so work life, sir?
So I'm pretty young right now. That's not proven to be a challenge to me yet, as I don't have children. A major thing is time management. I feel like a lot of people say, I don't have time, but that's not true. Everyone has the same 24 hours in a day, right? You also have the same time, I also have the same time. It's about what you have to do with it. So I think having a good schedule and following that schedule is very important, because if you don't have a schedule, if you don't have a plan, you're one step closer to failure. So I typically try to plan my day the previous night. So I'll make sure that I know what I'm going to do tomorrow, and I also follow a calendar system. It's not that hard, at least right now.
After Raina still launching,
Yeah.
so what kind of market share you are anticipating?
So I think I easily want to take over 30 to 40% of the homeowner segment, and I want to directly compete with the likes of Tata Tiscon, because that's the kind of quality I'm giving for the homeowner. No one besides Tata and Radha TMT have made a special product for homeowners. Like if you look at Tata's portfolio also, they have a special product for homeowners, and they have a special product for infra and construction. No player in the South Indian market has ever thought of creating something like this, and I'm just proud. Market share वगैरह तो it's a secondary thing.
It's a numbering game.
I'm just proud that I'm at least innovating, and I'm trying to do new things and trying to build new products for the benefit of our customers.
So every household built up by Radha TMT.
Hope so.
Game
Hope so. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And all the best for you.
Thank you so much.
So
Pleasure interacting with you.
రాధా టీఎంటీకి సంబంధించినటువంటి యంగెస్ట్ డైరెక్టర్ అని చెప్పుకోవచ్చు. సో తన టార్గెట్ ఏంటంటే ఎవ్రీ హౌస్ హోల్డ్కి సంబంధించి రాధా టీఎంటీ ఉండాలి. సో అది వాళ్ళ టార్గెట్. సాక్షి టీవీ.